cover partly covering the camera lens.
Oh, that's actually all right.
Okay.
Hi. This is Marchin in Berlin right here with Paul Gardner-Stephen.
Hi.
So tell us about yourself a little bit.
Oh,
Name?
yeah.
Shuttleworth Fellow.
So yeah, my name is Paul Gardner-Stephen. I live in Australia. Obviously here in Berlin at the moment with the rest of the crew from the Shuttleworth Foundation.
Yep.
For twice a year we all get together and talk about what we're doing and what problems we're facing and how we can really keep trying to change the world and make it a better place in each of the different ways that we're approaching it. So my work is about making mobile phones work without phone towers or any other supporting infrastructure. So during a disaster or in the middle of nowhere, or maybe just people who can't afford to make regular use of cellular service, that they can communicate freely and really enjoy the benefits of remote mobile communication that we kind of take for granted. That adds to economic development. It helps people to stay connected, and it's really those social connections that we care particularly about.
Yeah. So mesh telephony, ubiquitous mesh telephony, and you see that basically as a complement to the backbones of the internet.
Totally, it's complementary to both the internet and to existing cellular networks. Because hey, the cellular networks work fantastically well for something like half the world's population, really. But it's the other half who, a lot of them actually already have a phone, but they can't afford to use it too often, or they live in an area where there's a lack of coverage.
Yeah. What are your goals for maybe until the next meeting of the Shuttleworth Foundation, which is like November?
So really we're aiming to get a minimum viable product out there. So basically get something out that people can start using. And we're thinking about exactly what that will be at the moment, and it's been great to talk with everyone about what that might be. And so without revealing too much just yet, it looks like we'll have a nice idea of what a core product might be based around some text and data services.
Yeah. So tell me about the interest of the Red Cross.
So we've been,
how far is that? Yeah.
We've been working along with the New Zealand Red Cross for a little over a year now. We've been in discussion with them, and so in February, March this year, we actually went to a training exercise in New Zealand with them, which is a week-long simulated disaster relief kind of exercise, and using mesh telephony and in particular mesh file transport using our several rhizome technology. So we were able to transport maps, photos, images, team location data, a whole pile of stuff directly between phones, so that people could get a good handle on what was going on and important information could be propagated out. And one of the really nice things that we actually did was we actually updated the mesh software that was doing this transport by actually putting out the updates over the mesh itself. So there's just a nice recursive nature to the use of it there.
And over what distance was that test?
So that was over an area approximately 100 kilometres in length, but we weren't establishing end-to-end links at any point in time over that distance. But with the store and forward, so the data gets on a phone, and when that phone gets in range of other phones, it automatically replicates the data off. So when the teams would come back in at the end of the day, they didn't have to come in and upload anything, they didn't have to download anything. It just automatically made itself available.
So what kind of distances were covered in those particular cases?
So the phones that we're using there had a typical range of sort of 50 to 100 meters.
That's still pretty good. Yeah. So what are your impressions of the gathering so far? I mean,
the gathering's actually always really good. You've got a bunch of people who are all totally dedicated to making the world a better place in some particular way, and we're all kind of allied by a focus on technology in some regard. And openness as a key part of that, and that's really what the foundation is there to pursue. So it's great to get together with a bunch of really bright people who are sharing a common philosophy to a large extent, and working on projects that we can all each understand what each other's doing to a reasonable degree, and it's just really exciting to see what they're doing and to be able to pick other really great minds that are working in the space to help us all actually be the best that we can and the most effective with our endeavours.
Yep, I love the crowd. All right, well, thanks, Paul.
No worries.
Yep.